Gonna be starting the stream in a moment here. And the topic today, the main idea today for this live stream is the premise of getting some gloves on. So the title of this live stream today that we got going on, the title of this live stream is What I Learned About Fame from Lady Gaga. So fame and creativity. And that's going to be the premise, at least if you watch my videos, I start my videos or my live streams. I start my live streams with like an introduction, usually about like some idea that I kind of start off talking about, and then I just go into painting. So what I learned about fame and creativity from Lady Gaga is this interesting idea. You know, we all know Lady Gaga, one of the most successful, well-known, famous, powerful, influential artist who has ever lived, right? And a while back, I guess she was doing a tour of some kind. She was doing a series of like interviews. And if you look it up, you'll see these interviews. But if you look up like compilation of Lady Gaga answering the same interview question, and in it, basically, she gets asked this like same question over and over. She goes like to all these different interviews, and she gets asked the same exact question over and over. It's something like, "Oh, how did you feel about working with whatever director?" I'm making up the actual question because I can't remember. But basically, she gets asked that like 20 different times in this compilation, and in the answer, she gives the same exact answer. She gives the same exact answer all 20 of those times. And what I thought was really interesting about that was that I'd never seen a single one of those interviews. And watching those interviews on this like compilation of having them all thrown at you at once was really interesting, because in that context, it definitely looks kind of monotonous, annoying, having to answer the same question over and over. But it also made me think from a perspective of, if I was to take a step back and think about this idea of like fame and creativity, that no matter how famous you get, let's say Lady Gaga is probably at the top level there of people that are known on this planet. And if even Lady Gaga goes through this series of like people not having heard what she has said. The reason why she had to do that interview with the same question over and over was because people hadn't heard what she said. The whole world hadn't seen those interviews, particularly myself. But I just think it's interesting that one of the most successful, well-known, famous artists on the planet hasn't had a message that's been heard. That's the least of your worries. This is for like those content creators, maybe some of you artists out there, but this is for some of the content creators that are thinking, I can't do the same thing over and over. I can't, repeat some of the ideas I've said before. I have to come up with something new every single time. And when it comes to creativity, when it comes to this idea of creativity, maybe you don't need to come up with something new every single time. Look at Andrew Warhol is probably one of the best, easiest examples of just creating something that's already been loved and repeating them. The Campbell tomato soup can, and easy example there. But as far as like this idea of fame and creativity, I absolutely love those videos. Just watching, the compilation of Lady Gaga asking the same interview questions like 20 times in a matter of 1 minute has an effect. And you watch it, you're like, oh, how could she answer the same questions? Like I saw some some of the comments. I don't feel this way, but I was looking at some of the comments there, and some people were commenting and saying things like, "Oh, Lady Gaga, she answers the same question. She doesn't have any like new responses. She doesn't like," and you know, I find that criticism amusing. But at the end of the day, if I had just seen those individually, I probably would have never thought anything of it. I would have never thought that she was repeating the same thing over and over. But obviously, in the context of the modern world, where we have people that know somebody well enough, that are that big of a fan of somebody or big of a hater or whatever, will create a compilation of that. You know, it's a whole different world now. But at the end of the day, if Lady Gaga can be so successful, and even she has a message that hasn't been seen, I think for the rest of us people that are creatively wondering, and you know, when I say us, I say, I mean in the sense of not people trying to become famous, not like a fame part, but a creativity part where, you know, you don't really have to put the pressure on yourself, which I put pressure on myself. So you don't really have to put the pressure on yourself to constantly come up with something new, something fresh, something totally that's never been done before, thinking that, you know, the whole world or people are gonna like, you know, look at it and be like, oh, that's been done before, so you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, to realize that most people probably don't care. Most people probably don't care. Most people probably haven't seen your work. They probably didn't see the last piece you did. And they're probably not going to see the other pieces unless someone creates a compilation for you. Which, if you're not at Lady Gaga level, you probably don't have to worry about it. So I've just opened my paint supplies and I got to air out the room. Woo! Instantly, the smell of paint fumes has, I've been, oh no. Come on, are you serious? Anyway, there's this thing on my door that used to keep falling off. That's what this little jingling sound is. But since then, it has, been tied so it doesn't fall off anymore. But I don't like the jingling sound itself when I try to air out my room of the paint fumes. So anyway, if you're dropping in right now just to hear the message that I was sharing, what I learned from Lady Gaga about fame and creativity, feel free to, like, you know, rewind if you need to get to hear it, but I might repeat it a few times throughout this stream. But that's the idea. Ultimately, it's not so much about getting or being famous, but more so this idea that, you know, you can learn from Lady Gaga in her multiple interviews that, you know, sometimes you're gonna get asked the same thing, and it's absolutely okay. It's but from an art perspective, sometimes you need to redo the same thing. You need to retry the same idea. Maybe just do it with a different outfit. So anyway, Inaya Shakira, Ivan the doggo. Oh, Ivan, what's going on? I recognize that name. All right. So anyway, enough about fame and creativity. Let's get started painting, shall we? So this is a painting I started the other day. And what I'm going to do here is, I think we need to go into light areas now, so that's what we're going to get started on, some of the lighter spaces. We're going to start backwards with this guy. So here we go, bring in some of the white here. We're going to go do mostly of this teal color is our foundation here. And here we go. So Rome Gumaras. Spotify is R.1 Gumaras. Okay, cool. I think I've got an artist in here. What's going on, R1 Gumaras? Is this acrylic? No, this is oil paint. So yeah, Inaya Shakera. Is it Shakira? Shakera? What is that? How do you say that? Yeah, so these are oil paints. I've never used acrylic. As soon as I got started painting, I jumped straight to oil. And you know, I'm not opposed to using acrylic. It's just like, for whatever reason, the idea of working with oil paints just totally appealed to me from the get-go, and that's what I wanted to learn. So I dove straight into it rather than, you know, kind of exploring acrylic, then kind of exploring oil. The one thing about oil, though, and it might make me change one day, is this idea, like I'm sitting here and I have to smell these. I talk about this all the time, but I have to smell these these chemicals, which probably aren't so good for you. But you do what you got to do, right? We all suffer through things to do the best. But if you're very sensitive, I am a bit more sensitive. Say it like the singer's name. You said say Lady Gaga. Say it like the singer's name. I don't get it. Say it. What do you want me to say? Oh, I see. Okay, you're the question that I asked you. You're telling me how to say it. You know, it's funny because like doing these interactions is amusing because like I'll be interacting, and then because you know it's not a instantly flowing conversation like back and forth, I can totally get distracted. Like I'll be chatting and then I'll be painting and I'll totally lose context of what was just being discussed. So yeah, I don't know if it's a memory thing or if I just happen to, or if my mind is just swapping from one thing to the next in a way that obviously distracted painting doesn't provide for a good conversationalist. So anyway, let's go here. Oh, this hair needs to have more shape here. So I need some shape with the hair, and we're gonna go down here for the hair on the face. And this is gonna help us round out some of the shapes here. But as far as oil painting goes, I absolutely love love the way oil paints feel on the hand. I just love the way that they feel, their texture, and everything. So that's why I use them That's why I continue to use them. When you said that, I was like, singer, Lady Gaga? Are you trying to get me to sing like Lady Gaga? I was like, I don't think that's I'm creative, but I'm not a singer. So anyway, here we go. How long have I been doing art? Great question. And you know, one thing earlier, I was just talking about this idea of Lady Gaga and fame and creativity. I don't know if you're here for the full spiel, but I think it's funny. It's like, how long have I been doing art? I actually answer that question a lot, but I think it's beautiful because that's a question that changes pretty much every 6 months, every 3 months, right? I've been painting for 3 years. I've been painting for 4 years. I've been painting for 5 years, 6 years. So I've been doing art specifically, like serious, you know, active study. I would say for about four going on 5 years. as far as painting goes, I've probably been seriously painting for about going on 1 year, a little bit over 1 year. You feel it when people ask you the same thing. Yeah, when people ask you the same thing. But I think this guy, I don't know if you follow Gary Vaynerchuk, but he had a really good answer to this. Is he loves having the same questions, It's like, it's great. Because that means that people are still learning about you. And you're getting new people to notice you. So what brings you here today, Naya? How's your day? What's an exciting part of your life right now? And let's do this. We got a color in the front of his nose here. Alexa, what day is today? Wednesday?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
She can't answer that question. So there's a gap in the knowledge of an AI. They don't know how to answer questions when you have the answer already. So there's a gap in the powers of an AI bot. So anyway, let's see, let's paint this straight up. So you feel it when people, pretty good. You're gonna do live too. You want to check out other lives and see other people are maybe doing art on live. Yes, other people are doing art live. Cool. What is your practice? What do you do? What is your creative activity of choice? All right, we're going to do this other head here, and we're going to pop this down here. This is a massive ear right here. So did I pop up on your feed? I'm sure I popped up on your feed, and you're just like, oh, what's this? What's this dude going on about Lady Gaga? He don't know Lady Gaga. This guy doesn't know anything about Lady Gaga. What's he got to say? Yeah. As far as artists go, I am a fan of Lady Gaga. I can't wait to see the new, what's that movie? Supposed to be a big movie coming out with her. The Joker, yes. Can't wait to see the new Joker. I'm looking forward to that. Mainly do acrylic paintings and sketches. You've been experimenting with gouache, watercolor, much more. But yeah, that whole spiel was an interesting idea. You can learn a lot just following celebrities and listening to what they have to say about the world, or what they even don't say, but what they actually experience. And I definitely see right now I'm gonna have to mold and mash this head together a little bit. And let's see, acrylic. Nice. So how are you feeling about acrylic? Is it your absolute love, or have you decided that one day you're gonna switch to another medium, or how's that process and decision coming along? Because you did ask about oils, and because you've used so many, I'm curious, like, uh, what your thoughts are. What your thoughts are from that perspective. So here we go. We're gonna go into this, grab some, get the ear here, and I have to remember that I was trying to make the ears smaller. Zaku 2 Hi Bye. It is your baby. Oh, you're waiting on YouTube to get you the money for paints? Yikes. That's funny. Yeah, I like that yeah, definitely you can wait for YouTube for ages. Are acrylic paints really that cheap though? I've never actually looked at the prices of acrylic paints, but but I thought, like, I have heard that, like, you know, you've experimented, or forget what I was saying about I've heard that. So it sounds like you've experimented quite a lot of paints. A lot of those paints, in general, aren't cheap. But is acrylic paint really that much cheaper? I've never actually looked at the prices, so I wouldn't really know. Oh, acrylic paints are affordable. Wow. Yes, that's the right word. Are they more affordable? I didn't realize oil paints were that expensive. Yeah, I pour so much into oil paints. When I see a sale, if I ever see a sale, I usually go straight to go. Whenever I see Michael's having a sale on good paints or any other store, I'm like instantly. That's on my schedule of places to go. So, what kind of projects do you have going on right now? Let's say, there's some people watching right now. There's people on my stream, and, say one day or in a few moments, they're kind of bored and they're like, oh, I wonder what Inaya Shakira is painting. So what is your like, two paragraph, one sentence pitch of why people should come to your stream and leave mine? By the way, I say that totally lightheartedly. I'm totally not upset when people kind of pitch their own ideas here and even have. Now I'm seeing that this head is way too dark, light green. So the the lightness of the green or the blue has really transformed here. I wonder if I'm going to be able to fix that. Okay, cool. So stylized sketches, stylized realism. That's amazing. All right. Well, and what's your social media handle? If you want to share it. If you don't want to share it, you don't have to. Wait, I don't know if I finished my thought, but earlier I was saying how I'm totally cool with people coming into my live streams to talk about their projects, their work, all that. And let's see. If you ever come across your channel, I'll know what I mean. I'll know what I mean. Yeah, hopefully I can find your channel after this. I find the YouTube thing, YouTube's live stream, it's not really totally conducive to networking. I feel it's kind of difficult to actually reconnect with some of the people that you've already connected with, unless they actually like follow you or they leave you a comment. But you're in this chat. But here's the thing: is like after a live stream, you have to wait like a whole day before the chat finally reappears. So, and then by the time like my chat has finally appeared after a live stream has been uploaded to YouTube for viewing, I find that I forget like half of the conversations that I already had from it, including those that I'm like, oh yeah, let's connect. But let's see, you'll be expanding, but so far. Do I watch any artists? That's what, I don't watch any artists on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, I'm not. I do watch. I have watched artists on YouTube, but I don't necessarily watch. Uh, I don't necessarily watch artists. I watch artists on YouTube, but I don't watch like artists regularly. I usually go for YouTube for like tutorials and stuff and things like that. So it's a very specific like, hey, I'm going to, I just want to see what this artist is up, how this artist does that, or how you do this. But I don't go necessarily on YouTube to be like, to just watch one specific artist. Honestly, I consume a lot of my art content on YouTube. Or so, did I just say YouTube? I meant Instagram. I consume a lot of my art content on Instagram. I find Instagram to be a really good spot. So I have this issue where this is gonna bother me. The color of this head is darker than everywhere else, and it's greener. And you could tell that they're painted at different times. So I'm thinking either I need to paint over it, or I can leave it. And here's my usual dilemma is whether to allow my mistakes to show or to fix like something like that. And that's a dilemma because I kind of like the idea of letting your humanity show through your mistakes in artwork. But then there's some people who believe that you should never let people see your mistakes and errors as an artist. I don't know. Depends on what school of, what philosophy of art you come from, and how you want to be known, I guess. And even more amusing, all three of these use some different techniques, because you can see right here, I mean, obviously this one has a different green. These heads, these two specifically, have like different shades of shadow. So, yeah, I might just leave it. I'll leave it. I'm thinking I'll leave it. We'll see. Well, let's go right into this nose here. We're gonna go straight down in the nose. So how long have you been an artist for, Inaya? Inaya. Oh, it's pretty much the same, similar amount of time. Yeah, so I actually started in digital art. So I actually started in digital art. Hey, Osma, what's going on? How you doing? So Inaya, I actually started out in digital art, and with digital art, I went to a school. I went to a digital art school. Osma, how's things going? Are you business picking up for you? Business finally picking back up, I hope, for me, as far as the work we do outside of painting. Things are great, right? Actually, you don't have to share how things are going. That's personal. Yeah, it's been a slow summer. It's been a slow summer otherwise. But yes, okay, your channel is growing. Wonderful, fantastic. Yeah, I think been seeing more videos from you on my on my on my thing. So let's put the eye right around here. You got 5 million views on a video? Goodness, Osma, amazing. Hey, everybody, we got a viral star in here. Very true, has been pretty ALR for you. Nice job, Osma. Congratulations. Sounds like you're getting the hang of YouTube. That's more views than I have had. I don't know if that's more than my lifetime views, but that's more views than I've had on a single video. Amazing job, Osma. I think Osma like really just started getting serious about YouTube like in the past year or so. That's why I feel the need to do the congratulations, because I've had the opportunity to follow along as a YouTuber grew. A modern YouTube star, Osma Fiame. Fiamme. Wish me to get. You got that. So yeah, very cool. All you need is one viral video. So I think Osma must already be known in some circles around the internet. Very amazing. So Osma, can you tell us about the video? Oh, it's an 80s dance video? And that's viral? My goodness, congratulations. Very happy for you. I'm going to take some of this white here. I'm going to see if I can somehow just take this white and do this paint over of this head here. I think no matter what, I'm going to have to basically subject myself to the idea that this head is a different color than all the other heads. Yeah, consistency. Consistency is what gets you through the hard times. For sure. I love that message. Consistency. You know, one thing about painting, this painting specifically, is there's a part of this painting that I kind of like some of these extra brushy effects that I see like up here that I'm not getting elsewhere. And I'm trying to decide right now if I want to keep that painterliness or what. Here we go. This becomes a bit dark. Let's give it a little bit of shadow here. Round out her cheek just a little bit. And here we go. Edits, what's up, dude? You love the heads, faces I paint here. Incredible. Osma, thank you so much. Good to hear from you. Good to see you pop in. Hope you and your cats are doing fantastic. How are your cats doing, Osma? Loving the deep shadows on each of the portrait faces. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Edits has returned. Edits, what's going on, dude? How's soccer? You score any goals this summer? Yes, usually when I paint, if I do like portraits, really usually don't do this level of light and dark. There's a level of light and dark here that I don't usually use in I wouldn't naturally do in my portraits, but I think this is just like a classical style is to really do dramatic, what do they call it, Caravaggio. Very dramatic Caravaggio, light and dark colors. Well, there were no games. New season coming up in September, though. All right. Well, hope you're ready for that new season and you're ready to make some points, score some points. So here we go. Osma says Asia got tanned today. Oh, yeah. So I guess Asia was sitting in the sun, huh? So Asia got so tan. Well, hopefully she does okay. I find it so cute when cats just kind of like sit in like with their paws tucked under their body and they just like sit in the sun with their eyes blinking. So according to resources, when cats blink at you, supposedly that means that they like you. Does anybody else have myths about cat blink or cats in general? Hmm. You know, I love with the oil paint. I actually like. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'm working on growing my hair out, and this is a transitional period where I have to keep my hair at the top to keep it out of my face when I paint. But oh yeah, I was saying earlier, just now, I love when oil paints, when like, I actually like painting over things. I love like the effect that you can have, like when you're painting and then suddenly like you're painting over an area and somehow it just disappears. I don't know why I would expect anything different. Like obviously, if you could paint over something and it would disappear, but I really just love like the editing concept of this, that you can just you can just do that. I enjoy that about painting. Awais Sohail. When a cat blinks, it usually means that the cat sees you as a companion and not a threat. How long want to grow? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm gonna, like, it's down on my neck right now. You can see it's growing down my neck. Maybe I don't know if I'm gonna grow it just to a length where I could kind of like, where I'm gonna do like some sort of ponytail, like one of those classic Japanese style ponytails, or whether I'm gonna just keep growing it. We'll see. I actually kind of like doing my hair like this just as a style. I don't know why. But this is also this is also the style of hair that people give to their babies. That people give to their babies when they can't think of what other haircuts to give them. Here we go. Paint over has been complete. And we're gonna let this dry a bit. With oil paints, it's good to let things dry. And because the paint is still wet, this one face has like all these different textures on it, which is kind of distracting, but we'll work with it. And let me see, this guy has these collars. He's got the shadows. Let me just lay down a nice thick layer of this green here, get the paint all the way off. One thing about painting that has taken me a long time to really get is how much paint to really use. It probably took me quite a while because when I first painted, I would use super thin layers. Like I don't know if anybody knows what this means, but like super thin layers, as in I would use mineral spirits, which helps to make your paint like thinner and like, but it also helps, it also makes the color look a little different. As far as much thinner, you see through it more. And although there's a time and place for that, can't really use that for a whole painting. Whew, that smell, the oil paint smell. Trying to waft it out of this room. Alright, hopefully that did some of the job. So you love the shadow effects like samurai. Yes. Hey man, you're back. Suits me and it's practical if you ask me. Yes, very practical. Yeah, that's exactly. It's practical. And the shadow effect, is that the door? So I'm using the door not to dry anything off. I'm using the door to actually to air out the room. It's not for drying purposes. It's literally just to air out the room. So what I'm going to use for the hair is we're going to go for some reds and oranges. Go for like a dark brown or orange here. I'm gonna find a good color. I think for this dude's hair, we should just use different colors for all of them. Let's grab this white paint here. Trying to get just the right combination of yes, no worries. Mistakes happen. Yes. So this top of the head is going to come right down here. Oops. So here we go. We're gonna take this this color that we've come up with. It's like an orange. this spot right here stays pretty. And honestly, I'm probably going to go into this hair later and add my own design to it, but for now, I at least want to get the colors in. So Osma, are you going to be a professional dancer? Or are you trying to become the next JoJo Siwa? Good for her. There's a, I passed by JoJo Siwa's, her dance studio the other day. It's kind of cool. It's interesting being in LA and you could just like casually pass by these places that people come from all over the world to see. All right, we're gonna leave that. And then let's go to this other head. And the same thing, I colored the green by accident, but it needs to be this color. Do I play music when I paint to get certain? So do I use music? No, I don't use music. Although I would like to sometimes. I don't use music because when I live stream, anytime I play music, every single time, without fail, even when I use music that's supposed to be like usable for commercial purposes, I still get a violation from TikTok. I mean, from YouTube for copyright. So I've been trying to figure out a way. I mean, I don't think there's a way, but yeah, that's why I don't use music, in case you're wondering. I would love to, but I don't. Yes, it's more song interpretation. You like the teal turquoise color. Thanks. Yeah, something a little different to paint faces. I picked this up while I was learning to do oil pastels. I guess I wasn't even really like learning oil pastels. Oil pastels is something that's like really easy to just pick up and start working with. But I started working with oil pastels. And one thing with oil pastels is, depending on how you do it, there's like certain color choices. when you work with oil pastel, there's like certain there's certain color choices that you have to make. Because they're not as easy to like blend. It's much harder to like come up to create your own color. Like, you know, when I paint with paint, you know, I have the opportunity to come up with my own colors. But when I paint with oil pastel, you know, it's a much more involved process. You can't just like drop some color from the tube and call it a color. You really have to like, there's like technique to it. And I really I really just used the oil pastels directly onto the surface. I didn't try to like mix colors that much. So one thing it taught me to play with is color. I was at this great art gallery the other day. It's Bergamo, Santa Monica. I did a video tour of it. I don't know if anyone here has seen that, but I did this video tour of it, and I saw this really, really interesting art piece. It was like a big, think of something like that looks like a pillow, like it's kind of got width, and it's just like a square, but it's called like a soft round square. And it was just two colors. So what this artist did is he put a single color on like each of the pillows, and he made this one dual pillow. So just picture a rectangular one cut into two squares, and one of them was called macaroni yellow, and the other one was called mustard yellow. And I just love the way that they made that color, because you know, you don't really think that think about the difference between the two yellows, but it was a really nice, like subtle demonstration of the mastery of color, I felt. So this guy's gonna get some nice black hair. He has no ear. So let's keep this going. We're going to paint this guy with the same exact hair because they're the same person. Let's do it. I need more black. Let's grab some of our ivory black here. I'm giving this like a navy blue, French ultramarine blue black. I don't think you can really tell too much of a difference. There's just a little tiny hint of like a blue, I think. It might just be my imagination. But for whatever reason, I decided to mix some blue in here. And I guess I thought I would notice some type of effect, but I'm not really seeing too much as far as what the blue is doing to this painting overall when I mix it with the black here. So sticking with black hair, that is one thing about my work, is I'm constantly, no two pieces has the exact same technique. Not that I would really call myself a technique artist in general. But more so a constantly never-ending experimenting painter. And here we go. So this hair, so I've changed it. I've made the choice of making this hair color black. So I'm not going to have this area here. This area here is going to look very different. Than what's originally intended here. Oh no, got some black into this space. That's okay. All right. We got this black hair. Got our black, we got our we got our black, we got our orange. And now let's go with a different color. Got some paint boogers on here. Gotta get rid of them. Okay, is that the rest of the paint boogers? There we go. Time to clean this up and let's give this last guy purple hair. Super. You know, it'd be funny if more men who have like white hair, you know, like the white hair, if they just like dyed it funny colors like purple or green or something. But let's see. So I'm trying to think of some color combos right now. So I've got the black hair. I'm going to give this guy purple hair. But I'm wondering if, in my head, I'm wondering if purple's really that right of a color for this. You know, as far as trying to create like a, you know, color palette, I'm wondering if purple just kind of, well, no, I think that'll be good because you got green, the orange, and the purple will trying to do color math here, but I don't think I really need to. I think I should just color with the right cut with purple and not do color math. but I do want to actually at least think this out. Actually, hold on one second. So we got our green. This is a greenish blue. So somewhere between a light red, orange, yellow, green, blue. So green, blue. The opposite of green, blue would be red, 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 orange. So red, orange. Green, blue, red, orange. Greenish blue, somewhere between a reddish orange. And then I got a black, reddish orange, purple. Let's just do it. Let's just go purple. So we're going to bring this red here. So we have some red from the other day. And let's go with this blue right here. Grab some of this white. And with these colors, we will create a purple. Our goal is to create a little purple for our gentleman here. Nice light purple. Let's bring in a little bit more yellow. Hit the yellow. I really want to find myself a nice recipe for good, like, good purple here one day. I think this will have to do. And let's go like this. So obviously start off just painting in. This guy's hair is pretty easy, although I think once we get to once we get to his beard, going to create a whole separate host of challenges, but it's okay. So get the beard down here. So his hair comes in front. Gray, give purple. How about gray? Oh, did I give him a name? I don't know. I didn't give him a name. How about what do you think? What do you think, Osma? Does he need a name? I don't think he needs a name. Roger? I don't think that suits him. Roger's probably a good name, but I don't think that suits this guy. We'll name this one Osma. Is Osma a like unique name where it's from? Like, I think Osma is a very unique name, right? But where the origins of Osma are from, is it like unique or is it fairly common? Like, obviously, if you're talking in the U.S., Osma is like totally one of a kind, but I'd be curious to know if it's the same thing where Osmas are from. So let's go with this hair. And we're just gonna paint this hair over. Bruce. Yeah. Could be a good name. Bruce. So, going with the purple. Yeah, you know what? This purple almost, I think, is a good substitute for gray. It's not. It doesn't feel gray. Well, no. Let me backtrack on that. It isn't gray, but it can pass for like. If you were to look at something. If you were to look at something and get a sense of what gray feels like, I think this would tickle the gray bone. Meaning, it actually feels a bit gray. Feels like a gray. Woo! Somebody either broke something or, oh, I think someone just smashed into a car. Hey, you know what? Maybe not. I feel like a car smash. I've heard a couple of cars smash on my front of my apartment because the cars park along the side of the road. But I'm pretty sure. I don't think that was it. Usually they're much harsher. As long as everybody's okay. Let's grab some more of this color here. Gotta paint in the rest of the beard area. And here we are. It's very unique even in Lithuania. Awesome. Well, you got a very unique name, Osma. I saw, you know, have you ever been told that you look like the girl from Better Call Saul? Or the woman, I should say. I don't know if you've ever seen that show, but I just started watching it. And you would have made the perfect double for that actress. I don't know her name. But you look just very much like her. So let's do this, right. You want to see my cat? Right there. Hey Fern, say hello to Osma. Fern? What's going on outside, huh? Well, so technically this isn't my cat, this is Cat's cat's. This is Cat's cat. Fern! Give the camera some attention. She's cute. Fern, you're very standoffish though, right? Takes a lot to earn your trust. It's actually impossible to get her trust unless you're her original founder. No, that's not true. If you get enough treats, if you give her enough treats, you can win her over. Yeah, it sounded like a dumpster, but occasionally it might be a car. Okay. Now that this brush is cleaned, Fern, Osma says you're cute. Let's see if she'll take a treat for being cute. Hey, Fern, you want some treats and catnip? Come here, Fern. Catnip and treats. Here you go. So Fern's not the type of cat, she doesn't really go crazy. She's not the type of cat to go crazy if you give her catnip. Little sprinkles of catnip and treats. She's so confused right now because she wants treats and catnip. She's also suspicious of my intentions. Isn't that right, Fern? You know, I actually think that was a bad idea because every time after we give her treats, she kind of like starts to puke. She'll have like puking fits. Cat's doing good. She's actually on vacation. She went to go visit her daughter, and then she went to go visit her brother. So right now she's visiting her brother in the northern United States. So Cat's doing great. I'm trying to think of a good color for these collars here. What I want to do. I want to do a white collar with a red, like. Actually, you know what? Let's go with our blue here. Where's our blue? I'll do a blue collar here. But a very light blue collar. People, if you ever need to get a gift for an artist that paints a lot, and you know you want to get like a very practical gift, one that you think they'll probably use, get them white paint. I don't care how much white paint an artist has, you can never feel like there's enough. Now, obviously, you know, you gotta know your friend or the artist, right? Like, you know, if you work with an artist and the color they use exclusively in their work is like red, then, you know, the white paint might not be useful. But for the majority of painters, people that need to like mix colors and stuff, I think white's a safe bet. If you need a gift for an artist. Because white is constantly being used to mix colors. Constantly need white to mix and come up with colors. I mean, you can use other colors to lighten things, like yellow is a good color to lighten things. Maybe like some form of green is a good color to lighten things. A light gray maybe can be used. I don't think light gray is actually a good color to lighten things, but you know, the point is there are ways to lighten colors, but I think the majority of people need a lot of white to do so. So I'm going to use this blue. On their collar here, on his collar, and then I'm going to use a white. Is that the Lithuanian flag? To me, that looks like the Colombian flag. But the Colombia has something in the middle, right? I don't know. What flag? What flag is that? I'm guessing it's Lithuania because you just reminded that you are Lithuanian. Yes, she's got some family time going on right now. Is that right, Fern? Cats on family time. All right, now let's keep using this brush. I've been using this brush for a long time on this painting. I feel like I should switch it up, but just gonna keep going for a little longer with this. So this is a nice deep red here that I've got. Nice deep red that I want to mix in with our I want to make it even deeper red. Let's go into here. We're going to start at the bottom here. It's a very thin red, you can already see. LT Lithuania. When's the last time you got to see your Lithuania people, Osma? Yo, Kitty Corn, what's going on? 2 years, my goodness. You haven't been out to Lithuania in 2 years, Osma? People are missing you out there. What's up, Kitty Corn? How's your comic book coming along? You working on a comic book, right? Oh yeah, so the name of this stream, I want to repeat this story that I started at the beginning of the stream, but you know, I think it's so I named the title of this stream, what I learned from Lady Gaga about creativity. And it comes from, so I had seen this video with Lady Gaga, and basically it was like a compilation. Somebody took the time to go through a bunch of Lady Gaga interviews, and in these interviews, Lady Gaga was asked the same question. So Lady Gaga got asked the same question like 20 times, and she gave the exact same response like 20 times. And just as an example, I believe the question was something like, I'm not quoting, but it was something like, oh, so how did you feel about, like, how did you prepare for your, experience in XYZ? And then she had the same exact answer, like a 30-second response every single time. And there was all sorts of criticisms on that video. It was like, oh, Lady Gaga says the same thing every time, and that's kind of a dumb thing, because if someone asks you the same question, you kind of basically got to give the same answer. You can't, like, you can come up with something new every time, but then, it's good to just have a response that's ready and prepared, especially if people are going to ask you the same ones. But anyway, PR strategy aside, obviously that's only my opinion, but PR strategy aside, thinking about this idea that even Lady Gaga, individually, I would have never seen all of those separate interviews. Individually, those interviews I would have never watched, but together, taken out of context and put all into one video, it's kind of like, it's being highlighted. But when I started watching, thinking separately, I was like, yo, Lady Gaga is this incredibly successful artist, one of the most well-known artists on the entire planet, and even though she repeated the same message like 20 times, I hadn't seen a single one of those videos separately. And it made me think about this idea that, I think when I was first getting into live streaming and doing artwork, writing, I was like, oh, I can't write the same idea over and over. I can't talk about the same thing over and over. But at some level, I think the truth is that you can. If you're not at Lady Gaga's level, which 99.99% of the world is not, and you have a message, you don't have to come up with something new every time. And I think that's a challenge for creative people, especially new creative people who haven't come to realize that a lot of things are just rehashed or imitations or whatever. There's a great book called Steal Like an Artist, but you can kind of get the idea from the title. But I think when I was a new artist specifically, I would constantly think, oh, so I have to do something new. I have to do something innovative. I have to come up with something totally different. When the truth is, you probably don't as much as you think. At least for the most part, right? Like, obviously everybody at some level wants to create something that's identifiable as their type of work. But for most artists, I think there could be a challenge of thinking that you constantly have to say something new, do something new, create something new. And, you look at some of the best artists, they repeat the same ideas over and over. And yeah, that's what I learned about creativity from watching Lady Gaga videos. Actually, this wasn't even Lady Gaga videos. Somebody put this together, but I think it's helpful to think of that there are not that many people know who you are or have seen it. So keep doing it. Keep doing the same thing. I think that's why there's a lot of people who go viral briefly. They go viral briefly, and you know, like the Hak Twa girl, or you know, people have like these viral videos, but it's because they didn't like do something on purpose, right? Like Hak Twa, she didn't plan for that to go viral, but she somehow did. But like, you know, I'm sure if she had consistently come up with some idea based around that, if she kept drilling into that, she could milk it. She could milk the Hak Twa thing. As far as viral content. But anyway, a little aside there, stepped away from painting for a moment, just to get that idea out. I like to talk about different things on this live stream. So anyway, you're doing the cover next. Awesome. Tired but worth it. There you go. If you're not tired, it's not working. So I had this vision today. I had this vision today of painting these these not red. I wasn't. There were originally red marks in the vision, but when I say vision, I mean I was daydreaming. Not like I was having this vision that something was going to happen. I was just daydreaming, and for whatever reason, this idea popped up that I feel like I have to add these red marks. I'm trying to think, how do I want to mix this background? But that's the thing, Osmo, like it's dancing. You can keep doing that and become known as a dancer. And I think you know, if you wanted to be known for that. I think some things are harder to make viral than others. For example, the Hak Twa girl. Or I guess to continue making more viral content around it. Dancing's great though. Dancing is repeatable. It's exciting. People love dancing. So I've decided I'm going to take this yellow here. And we're just going to paint into here. So we're going to go... So Osma, do you plan on making more amazing viral videos, or is that do you not want to be known as a dancer? I can't wait to watch this video again. I feel like I've seen it, but I will have to look it up after this. I feel like I saw it already, but I just don't remember exactly what it was. Because I feel like you have a lot of dancing videos, don't you? You've been doing them for a long time. Wonderful, Osma. Look forward to seeing that become the next big thing. Can't wait. So here I am as I paint this yellow around our figures, and I constantly not like realize when I use yellow that it's a really hard color to work with. The yellows that I usually use, because yellows really, they allow what's underneath to really show through, and I guess there might be a less of a opaque or transparent yellow. There's probably a less transparent yellow somewhere. But pretty much every yellow I've ever used has been very transparent. And when it's transparent, that means that I gotta figure out ways to work around it, work with it. Yes, always a way to collab, Osma. A collab. Here we go. So So you've got this like powerful red, orange, yellow. I wonder if I should go around it or if I should change the color below. What to do? Trying to think of what color needs to go below. So I got this green, purple. I also want to sit down for a second. So green, purple, yellow. You know what? I'll use this color straight from the tube. Cerulean Blue Phthalo. Color name, huh? So we're going to lay that down. We got a Cerulean Blue Phthalo. But I don't like to just use colors directly exactly the same, so I'm gonna look for ultramarine. I'm gonna look for a French ultramarine color. Let me find a French ultramarine. I'll have to organize my colors at some point and figure out what colors I need and what colors I have excess of. Cerulean phthalo blue. Use my big ultramarine blue. Actually, you know what? I want to use a smaller one. Use this. Gonna drop down our ultramarine. Let's start mixing some colors and see what we get out of these two. I want like a nice dramatic, because we've already got this. Thanks, Osma. Thanks for being here. You know, I know that you're quite a busy person with a lot of things that need your attention. So I totally appreciate you popping in here to say hello, say what's up. Yeah, it's been a minute. We haven't chatted in a while, huh? I want like a dramatic. I don't want it to match the. I don't want it to like match the. Yeah, this is a good blue. I just don't want it to be too close to the colors, is what I was trying to say just now. So where's that brush? Here we go. Get all the paint off of my piece right here. Hey, Osma. I do this for most of my, for a lot of viewers who stick around for a while. So, you know, as a thank you, I'm going to throw your name somewhere on this portrait here, or on this painting. For sticking around and being here. So I usually hide it somewhere that's not totally obvious, but let's see. A nice font here. Just gonna put Osma. S M. Here we go. a darker shade here. So it looks like shadow there, but you can actually see it says, hey, thank you. Thanks for being around. This is a nice dark green here, so I think I'm gonna put some of this color into here. It says TY Osma. Thank you, Osma. It's my version of a shout out. All right, so let's get started here. I'm laying down this blue. I think I need to do right here. Keeps moving. I think that's because I don't have it stabilized. So I will say this color combination is inspired by Mark Rothko. Not necessarily the specific color, but just like in the spirit of Mark Rothko. And I haven't studied his art enough to really know like how he did it, because I think he used like multiple layers of a couple different colors. And I'm not saying that this color combo is what he would use. I'm just saying that in the spirit of Mark Rothko having this like multi-tone, this like, you know, two separate major tonal color areas, I will say is inspired at least in part by Mark Rothko's designs. Worth looking up if you don't know him already. Oh, here we go. Katie, what's up? How you doing, Katie? Katie Cat is in the house. Thank you. Yeah, I changed up the faces a little bit. Always like to change things up and make things a little different. So what's going on? You just got back from a stream, like your own stream? What do you mean by a stream? Are you streaming now? I've been painting this for a little bit. Cool. So what does Kurazar Kurazar do? What is Kurazar known for? So actually in about like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes after I'm done painting in all the white space, I'm probably going to be done for the day. So for those of you that are sticking around for a little bit, just letting you know how much longer I'll be streaming, which may not be very long. So you can move on with your days, your afternoon. A realistic hardcore Minecraft. What do you mean hardcore Minecraft? I've actually never played Minecraft. How would you describe like say I was someone that you just met that you wanted to like get to play Vintage Story. How would you describe Vintage Story to someone who's never touched it but is open to playing it, but you know that, you know, there's all sorts of things that are distracting for people's attentions. So why would anyone play Vintage Story is the question. What is the pitch? Oops. I totally messed up her mouth there. Stone Age to Steal It. Hey, that sounds fun. Is it new? Is Vintage Story Sound a new game? It actually sounds like a fun game. Haven't heard of it yet though. Maybe it's just not like mainstream. Is it not mainstream yet, or what? What's the story on that? Vintage Story. $2016. I'll probably look it up just to see, because it is sparking my curiosity. Sounds like an interesting concept. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily play it, but it does sound neat. I grew up on this game called Age of Empires. I don't know if you ever heard of Age of Empires, but it's basically like, you know, I like games that kind of teach you about history, like Civilization. I don't know if you ever played Civilization or Age of Empires. It's a grindy, time-consuming game. Terraform Craft. Originally, it was a mod called Vintage Craft from Minecraft. Devs used code from another mod. Army Castro, what's up? Yes, this is an oil painting. Welcome. How are you, Army Castro? So Katie was telling us about a game named Vintage Story. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it sounds pretty unique and interesting. Yes, this is oil painting. I do oil painting, oil pastel, and I draw with pink or with ink. I said pink, but I meant ink. And as far as paint goes, I exclusively use oils. I haven't, you know, I've invested so much in oils, like for an entire, like 6 months. Anytime I saw a sale on oil painting, I pretty much had to buy it. And I've got so much oil paint that, and the only reason why I'm saying this is people have been asking me, they've been like, do you paint with acrylic? How come you don't use acrylic or whatever? And you know what? I started with oil. I invested so much into it right from the beginning that, you know, I don't really. yeah, that's the reason. So anyway, thank you for tuning in just to give a compliment. It seems like, appreciate that. You know, there's a interesting guy, or maybe it was a woman or whatever, I don't know. But they came into my live stream one day and they just said, "What's up, King?" and then left. Because I was gonna have a conversation with them. I was gonna be like, "Oh, how you doing today?" Blah blah blah, small talk. But they left. They weren't even there for like. They literally just said, "What's up, King?" and then dipped out on the room. And I thought that was pretty amusing because that was powerful. That felt good, you know? It was like somebody just calling you king. It's kind of cool, right? So for all the kings and queens out there, which is all of you, thank you for being here. That's how you are with gouache. You know what is good about oil paints? You can easily blend the paints and make it more realistically viewed. Is that so? Yeah, like I haven't had the opportunity to really experiment with acrylics, so I really don't know what the differences are. You know, oil paints, I do agree, like, you know, right from the get-go, it's really easy to mix and blend oil paints. Is that not the case, is what you're saying for acrylic? Hey Katie, thanks for jumping in. Good to see a familiar name. Keep me updated on all of your amazing uh, progress. Look forward to seeing a familiar name again. See you later. Like, is it not easy to mix acrylic oil? I mean, acrylic paintings? All right, that was it. You see that? I'm not done yet. I think I got at least a couple more days with this. At least one more day. I'm thinking at least like 3 more hours. 2, 3 more hours. But we are done for now. So let's see. As I'm wrapping up here, Army Castro, Osma, thank you, is used in centuries. It's the traditional medium after all. Yeah, it was used for centuries for sure. Now, you know, like, I think the greatest artists, or, you know, the greatest artists have always adapted and changed and transformed the art world. So I don't necessarily feel like I have to do oil just because it's like the classic. But what I do love about the oil is that, you know, it has been around for so long, and the textures of it. And on top of that, you know, not just because it's the traditional way that I like to do it. It's, you know, I think it's something. It's something about the idea that it's been around for so long, and you know that there's ways to constantly evolve the work. I mean, there's just like for centuries, and there are still ideas to be discovered, ideas to be created, ideas to be painted, and you know, more so than the fact that it is the way, it is the how the great schools of art do it. Rather than that, it's more for me about that there's still more work to be done, more oil paintings to be discovered and created. Plus, I love the texture. Now, I don't love the smell. The smell definitely gets to me, and I do find myself getting headaches sometimes. I use odorless mineral spirits. They're supposed to be odorless, but there's definitely an odor. It's a very powerful one. I was thinking about trying. There's like a lemon scented one that I was thinking about trying at some point, because I don't. My body does okay with like lemon scents, but the mineral spirits, my goodness, I have to close them each day. So anyway, we're gonna leave this at this. And acrylics dry faster. How long it took so far? I think this has been about 3. So today for 2 hours 20 minutes. Previous day for like 2 hours. So far like 4.5 hours. All right, TikTok. Good night, TikTok. Have a great one. And you know, Army, Castro, all y'all that are here. I do want to say right now is a good time for me to take a break. So thank you all for being here. I know there's other people in the room viewing right now, not just Army and Osma, but I don't see any names. So either way, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see y'all some familiar names again soon. And Osma, let's meet up for some coffee or something. All right, take care, everyone.